Hey there, class. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are enjoying the course so far. We're in the home stretch right now. We're in week 11, I believe. So, coming into the last third of the course, wanted to just pop in, talk about some feedback on activity assignment number two, talk a little bit about your upcoming final paper, and discuss a quick survey that I'm going to be making available on the Moodle page in the next couple weeks. So, first off, activity two, much better. I think that the modified instructions and the really driving home the point to ask people to use the headings that I had asked for about why you chose it, why it relates to the class, and how it can relate to people with mental illness really seemed to focus the arguments a bit better. And overall, I was very pleased with the responses that I read this week. So everyone in my groups, I think with the exception of one person, should have gotten their grades yesterday. I believe Dr. S will be working on it in the next couple of days, so you can look for your grades from her as well. But good job. The people that struggled really were the people that didn't follow directions as well when it came to summarizing the article when I was not asking for that or not using or following the headings. So that will help your grade in the future. So, coming up this week, we're going to be having activity three, which is similar to the first two activities, but this one is going to focus on wellness. So, if you remember, our first activity focused on education or employment. Second one focused on substance abuse, and this one focuses on wellness or physical health. So, you're going to be using one of these three activities and the article that goes with it to write your final paper. The instructions for your final paper are at the top of the main Moodle page. It should be a two-page document. The first page has all the instructions. The second page has the rubric. I'm not going to read it. You can read it yourself, but I will stress a few points. So, similarly to the activity assignment, you're going to be using these subheadings in your paper. You're going to be having the brief opening and summary and rationale for choosing the story. You're going to write that, and then underneath you're going to talk about a brief summary of the news story, why you chose it, and why it was worth sharing for the course. So the subheading is the thing that's underlined in the instructions. You don't have to write in the bullet points and then as subheadings and then write under there. Whatever is contained underneath that subheading should encapsulate those three bullet points. So you'll write about the news story, why you chose it, what made you decide it was worth sharing, and then you'll do the next subheading, which will be facts versus emotion, what lies underneath the story. And you'll look at the story in and of itself, like where did it come from, who's the writer, what's their agenda, is there any kind of bias or slant, you'll talk about that. And so you're going to kind of take whatever you did for the first activity assignment and the one that you like the best or the one that fits with the rest of this assignment, really pick it apart. Really think about where it came from and then how it ties into the larger emerging trend or topic is the next subheading. So what we've covered in class, how it relates, and it should be clear. You guys have done a good job in this last activity assignment about making the clear connection between substance use and mental illness, if in fact the article itself did not contain info about people with mental illness, in which case a lot of them didn't, and that's fine. I'm really trying to get you to think critically and make that leap from an article you see about substance use or wellness to kind of relate it to, well, how does this relate to people with mental illness? And then, so for this paper, you're going to take the next leap, which is, so this topic can relate to people with mental illness. How does this tie into the class and the emerging trend that we talked about? And that's when you take a closer look into the evidence and what it says. So that's where you will cite at least three peer-reviewed journals from 2010 or later, because we want emerging information. We don't want old, out-of-date info. And then you'll also tie in and make the leap to psych rehab in the larger scale. So the next subheading is tying in psychiatric rehabilitation, the value and the principle that it really speaks to, and then your final summary. So I hope you enjoy this, writing this assignment. I think it's a little different than probably some of the papers you've had to do. I certainly have enjoyed reading and grading your assignments because I'm learning a lot, with the articles that you're choosing. are helping me kind of become more informed about the emerging trends and topics of this population. So that is a little more info on the final paper, and then you should also pay attention to the rubric that is on page 2 of the instructions, and that is essentially exactly everything that is required in the paper with the subheadings and the breakout of what each section will be worth. So keep that in mind as you're writing your paper. Last thing I just want to mention briefly, so for many of you, you might be aware we've had a small Facebook pilot project going on where a select group, I think of 6 or 7 students, has been participating with their activity assignments, posting them on Facebook, and doing their forum discussions on Facebook as well. I'm really pleased how that's going, and I'm going to be putting out a general social media survey to the class in the next couple of weeks. So I have it, I'm working on it, I'm going to be getting some feedback from some other instructors, and then I'm going to be posting it on the main Moodle page for whatever week it becomes available. It'll just be a very simple, less than 10 question quiz on your interest, how much you use social media, what your opinion is of it in online learning. So look for that. Please take 2 minutes and fill it out if you could. It's really going to help inform me how best to move forward with social media integration. And I am asking everyone in the class to fill it out, whether you're in the Facebook pilot or not. Everyone's feedback on this would be really helpful. So, any questions, you know where to reach me. Send me an email. Hope to see you guys next week. Take care.